Gleyber Torres has revealed the truth on leaving the New York Yankees, and I frankly cannot believe what he said discussing the way how his exit to the New York Yankees went amidst Jazz Chisholm Jr. taking over at second base, leaving the Yankees third baseman as a big question mark, with guys like DJ LeMahieu and Oswaldo Cabrera being the frontrunners to be the team's third baseman next season, as Alex Bregman feels very unlikely. I think he's going to the Red Sox. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe. It helps me out a ton on Yankees Digest. 13% of people are subscribed. Let's try to get those numbers up, and also thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. It's hard to stop saying it. It's a great feeling. I appreciate it so much, but we're here to talk about baseball, and let's do just that because it's baseball. Who doesn't love it? Look, Gleyber Torres left the New York Yankees after 7 years with the Yankees, being an absolutely awesome second baseman for the team for a while, outside of a bit of a time at shortstop where things didn't go well. His career kind of became a big question mark. He was a guy who looked like a future superstar with the Yankees, making the All-Star game in his first and second season with the team, while him and Miguel Andujar looked like the future of the New York Yankees. But things took a turn, as once the Yankees moved Gleyber to shortstop briefly, it really did harm his play a lot, and we never really saw him reach that height of the 38 home run hitter that we once saw on the New York Yankees. Torres felt like he was the Yankees' next superstar, and like the second base position was going to be locked up for 10 straight years. Now, Gleyber did give the Yankees many years, like 6 years, because there was the one at shortstop, so he gave like 6 years to the Yankees as a second baseman. And he did a lot of great things with the team, coming here in 2016 in the Aroldis Chapman trade, but then obviously becoming a free agent, and after some turmoil with the New York Yankees in his time here, he opted to sign a one-year, $15 million deal with the Detroit Tigers. Now, Gleyber spoke out on his time with the New York Yankees. Now, he said that, well, I think the Yankees have their priorities, and I wasn't on the list, and capitalized on that by saying, the season I started slow in the first half. Everything was better in the second half, but still the numbers I had were not right for going into free agency, especially with my age. I was just telling my agents, look for a one-year deal. I always believe in myself. I bet on myself. So just in this process, I was trying to find the right place to play for 1 year. Now, first of all, discussing this man right here, Gleyber Torres. It is a bit interesting that he just openly admitted to potentially leaving the Detroit Tigers next season if he can get more money. He said he wants a one-year deal, and he's being very honest that that is what he looks for, so I try to get my hair to stay down a little bit. There we go. But with the New York Yankees, Gleyber, he lost that ability. The New York Yankees had different priorities, and they decided to move in a different direction away from Gleyber Torres. Meanwhile, Torres wants to still prove that he is an all-star. It's now been a while since he's been an all-star. His last appearance was in 2019. So it's been 5 years since we've seen Gleyber put up all-star numbers. However, maybe a change of scenery is exactly what Torres needs. I mean, he was great until the Yankees moved him to shortstop in his third season. And then ever since that, he just couldn't hit the same. Even when he moved back to second base, things were no longer the same as what they once were. It felt like he fell out of rhythm because he was gassing out at shortstop, and that led to his hitting getting worse, and it probably became this mental case that never recovered. Going to a new team is the best bet for Gleyber Torres to get his numbers back, and he wants to still be that all-star player no matter where it is, and he's right to do that. However, just looking at everything he said, it makes it clear the New York Yankees weren't too interested in bringing Torres back at all. Now, Gleyber mentioned, I have to play where somebody wants to give the best for me. I have great friends there with the Yankees organization, great communication with the entire organization, and I feel proud of myself for being with the Yankees for 7 years. And that's something Gleyber should be proud of. I mean, Gleyber gave a lot of good moments to the New York Yankees. He was a leadoff hitter this season. He actually ended up doing a pretty great job at it in the second half of the year. We saw Gleyber get better and better, and the fact that he was looking for a one-year deal upsets me that the New York Yankees didn't re-sign him. The Yankees could have gave him that contract, and the Yankees being better and Gleyber knowing his role with the team, I would have way rather the Yankees just given Gleyber that one-year deal instead of letting him walk. I mean, now he's certainly not going back to the Yankees because they didn't even contact him, and you could have kept Jazz at third base, had Gleyber at second, and that's a lot better than putting DJ LeMahieu, who's had 10 million injuries and is getting older, at third, or sticking Oswaldo, who can't really hit the ball, at third. It feels like a weird choice for the New York Yankees. Maybe they just didn't want to pay him. Even if he was going to leave next season, it would have been fine to have Gleyber for an 8th season. I mean, the guy knew how to be a Yankee. He had a lot of good chemistry with the New York Yankees. It all made sense that Gaber Torres would have fit perfectly with the New York Yankees had he stuck around for one more year. So I'm very upset now to know the Yankees didn't decide to keep Gleyber when he was only looking for a one-year deal. He probably would have liked to go back to the Yankees on a one-year deal. He was on a team that made the World Series. It's a lot of good publicity for a guy still looking for a big enough contract if he can have a great year. I mean, if Gleyber goes to Detroit, is a good second baseman, he's a solid fielder. He's nothing more. He's a fine fielding second baseman and can show that bat once again. I mean, I doubt we're ever going to see the 38 home run guy again, but if he shows that he could hit 30 home runs and provide solid contact, Gleyber's going to get a nice little contract for himself. He's going to get a couple years, a nice 5-6 year deal potentially on some solid money in the 150 range. That's probably what he's looking for. It's a realistic target if he has an awesome year and becomes an all-star again. And there will be a team that will be paying Gaber Torres that money. A team will find it, whether it's the Tigers bringing him back or a completely different team that needs a second baseman. Gleyber is still able to find a big payday, and it would have made more sense for Gleyber to stay with the Yankees, as the Yankees will probably go farther than the Tigers will. So it just adds a bit of more baseball. And if you play well in the playoffs, then teams are really going to get interested in you. I mean, you can have a lackluster season, play really well in the playoffs, and you'll make double your contract than if you had a lackluster season and missed the playoffs. You just need to have a good playoff performance and a solid enough play throughout the year to show that you belong on a big contract. And Gleyber now gets the chance to do that, which is what he wanted to do. I just wish it was with the Yankees after hearing all this. It would have just made sense for him to stick around at that rate. But Gleyber did say that he knows his entire career has been highs and lows, but next year is an opportunity for him to be great. So he's going into this with a great mindset, and I am happy for Gleyber. Look, I'm going to root for Gaber Torres. I think the Yankees screwed him up by putting him at shortstop. I think it derailed his career way more than people would have expected. For any NBA fans out there, this might be a deep cut, but to make a comparison, it's almost like when Tyreek Evans joined the NBA or got drafted into the NBA in 2009, plays point guard for the Sacramento Kings as a 6'6" guy, and then gets forced to move to the small forward role where he played out of position for so long that it derailed his entire NBA career, and then he ended up getting banned for drugs. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to Gleyber. It's probably not. Gleyber has been great for a while, and Tyreek Evans also had a litany of injuries, but in all sports, you can have your role get changed and quit when you're young, and it quickly derails your career because you're doing something you never really did before. So I do hope that Gleyber gets the chance to be the second baseman for the Detroit Tigers. Obviously, Javier Baez is there, not hitting the baseball and swinging at everything still. But I do imagine that Gleyber will be the second baseman for them. Baez will probably stay at shortstop if they still use Baez. I mean, that contract has been a nightmare for them. But he's also terrible on the Mets as well. Remember when Javier Baez was on the Mets? Remember when Javier Baez was really good and on the cover of MLB The Show? I just bit my tongue so bad. That sucked. But look, where the New York Yankees are now, they decided they didn't need Gaber Torres anymore, and Gaber Torres decided he didn't need the New York Yankees anymore, even if he still wanted to be there. And I think Gaber Torres is going to have a fine season with the Detroit Tigers. I don't expect him to be an all-star, but maybe he will. Baseball's strange. Sometimes people just randomly become all-stars again. The Yankees have decided to move in a different direction, and they've made some big moves, specifically signing Max Fried to that big contract. But outside of that, we haven't really seen big contracts for the New York Yankees, which is pretty strange overall. If they were willing to give Juan Soto $760 million, why are you only using $200,000 of that elsewhere? Use more money. Bring another talent. Bring in someone who could hit the ball well. They still need another bat. I mean, the hitting's not bad, but they could use another bat somewhere. So it would be nice to see the Yankees still make another move, whether it's for an Anthony Santander, and his market is very unclear at the moment. If the Yankees can find him on a 1, 2, 3 year deal, something like that, I mean, you could use Bellinger at first base. You could probably teach Santander how to play first base. And I know Paul Goldschmidt's there, but I don't know if Goldschmidt will be playing every day or just most days. But the Yankees need a third baseman right now, and there's not too many third base bats left, so it's unlikely that that's going to happen. There's not really too many third base bats at all in free agency. There were some in the trades, but it doesn't feel like that'll be covered long-term this season. Probably they'll look towards next year. Next year, you could also see them moving Bellinger to first so the Yankees can go full steam ahead for Kyle Tucker on the Chicago Cubs, who's going to hit free agency and is going to leave the Cubs. The Cubs are weird. Who knows why they made that trade? It's very strange. But it will be interesting to see how the New York Yankees navigate the third base position from farther on. Obviously, they could have covered it had they just brought back Gleyber and kept Jazz at third, and they probably should have done that. It feels like that was a misstep by the Yankees. I do wish the best for Gleyber Torres. I hope nothing but success for his career. I hope he does become an all-star again. I hope he gets that big contract that he's hunting for. He was supposed to be the next Yankee superstar. Sometimes things don't work out. Gleyber, for some reason you're watching this, I really do hope the best for your MLB career. I will always root for Gleyber Torres no matter where he goes. Even if he ends up on a rival team, I'll always be a fan of Gleyber Torres. He was awesome to watch when he was good. When Gleyber was good, the Yankees were great. And he also was a very clutch player multiple times. Shout out Gleyber Torres. Yankees, please figure something out for third base. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.